Hello everyone and welcome to the Introduction to Business course. This is me, Muhammad Sulaiman, a teaching assistant in the Faculty of Commerce, Georgia Program and English section, Cairo University. And this is the final revision for the year 2021. Hope you find it helpful and fruitful. First of all, you have to know the chapters included in your final exam for the year 2021. And they are chapters 1, 9, 11, 13 and 18 with certain pages determined by your doctors. So let's start and see what we have today. These are the contents of today's video. Summary on each chapter, and in this section I will give you a quick review on the points covered in the chapter, and that points you have to know. True and false questions, multiple choice questions, and finally some of the previous exam questions from the year 2017 till 2019. And these exams you have to, our questions of the exams you have to practice on and see how the questions can be asked. So let's start with a summary of chapter 1, which is in the title of Taking Risks and Making Profits Within the Dynamic Business Environment. You have to know the relation between profit and risk and how business and non-profit organization can raise the standard of living for all. You have to differentiate between the term profit, which is money a business earns above and beyond the money that it spends for salaries and other expenses, and business people make profits by taking risks. And you have to know what is the meaning of risk. And risk is the chance an entrepreneur takes of losing time and money on business that may not prove profitable. Also, you have to know what is a loss. A loss occurs when a business cost and expenses are higher than its revenue. You have to know who are the stakeholders and which stakeholders are most important to business. And stakeholders include customers, employees, stockholders, suppliers, dealers, bankers, the media, people in the local community, environmentalists, and elected government leaders. And the goal of business leader is to try to recognize and respond to the needs of these stakeholders and still make a profit. Also, you have to know how entrepreneurship and the other factors of production contribute to the creation of wealth. You have to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of entrepreneurship. Working for others means getting benefits like paid vacation and health insurance. Entrepreneurs take more risks and lose those benefits. They gain the freedom to make their own decisions, more opportunities, and possible wealth. Also, you have to know what are the factors of production, and they are 5 factors: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and knowledge. Of these, the most important are entrepreneurship and knowledge. Entrepreneurs are people who risk time and money to start and manage a business. What makes rich countries rich today is a combination of entrepreneurship and the effective use of knowledge. So these are the most what contribute to to rich countries are the entrepreneurship and the knowledge, which are one of our 2 factors of the 5 factors of productions. Also, you have to know and analyze the effects of the economic environment on business. The government may allow private ownership of businesses, pass laws that enable business people to write contracts that are enforceable in court, establish a currency that's tradable in world market, help lessen corruption in business and government, and keep taxes and regulations to a minimum. From a business perspective, lower taxes means lower risks, more growth, and thus more money for workers and the government. Also, you have to know and describe the effect of technology on business. Technology enables workers to be more effective, efficient, and productive. Effectiveness means doing the right things in the right way. Efficiency means producing items using the least amount of resources, and productivity is the amount of output you generate given the amount of input. For example, the hours worked. Demonstrate how businesses can meet and beat competition. They can they can found a competitive edge by focusing on making high quality products all the way to zero defects. Companies also aim to exceed customer expectations. Often that means empowering frontline workers by giving them more training and more responsibility and authority. You have to analyze the social changes affecting businesses. Diversity, for example, is one of them. And diversity efforts now include older adults, people with disabilities, people with different extroverts, introverts, married people, and singles. And managing diversity means dealing sensitively with workers and cultures around the world. Identify what businesses must do to meet global changes. So let's start with the first type of questions, which is true and false question. You will see a statement and determine whether this statement is true or false, and try to justify your answer for yourself. You will follow the number of the slide at the right bottom of the presentation, as the questions will not be numbered, as you can see. So the question is, revenue is the amount a business earns above and beyond what it spends for expenses and costs. I will leave you about a minute to think about the answer, and then I will tell you the answer and why, and justify the answer. Of course, this is false, because as we said before, we have to differentiate between the term revenue and profit. Uh, this is not revenue, it's the term profit here. Profit is the amount of money a business earns above and beyond what it spends for salaries and other expenses, while revenue is the total amount of money a business takes in during a given period by selling goods and services. If a business's costs and expenses are greater than its revenue, it will suffer a loss. Yes, this is true. Loss happens when a business's expenses are more than its revenue. If a business loses money over time, it will likely have to close, putting its employees out of work. And there are many businesses over the world that close nowadays because of many different reasons. So they are making losses, while the opposite of loss is, as we know, the profit. Next question. Revenue is the total amount of money a business takes in during a given period by selling goods and services. Yes, this is true because we have just differentiated between the term revenue and profit. Revenue is the total amount of money a business takes in during a given period by selling goods and services, while profit is the amount of money a business earns above and beyond what it spends for salaries and other expenses. Next question. Businesses seek to earn a profit by providing goods and services to others. Yes, this is true because business is any activity that seeks to provide goods and services to others while operating at a profit. And we know what are goods and service and what are the differences. Goods are tangible products such as computers, food, clothing, cars, and appliances, while services are intangible products that cannot be held in your hands, such as education, healthcare, insurance, recreation, and travel and tourism. Once you have developed the right goods and services based on consumer wants and needs, you need to reach those consumers using whatever media they prefer, including TV, social media, online advertising, and more. This is a ways for promoting for your business. An entrepreneur risks time and money to start and manage a business. This is true because you have to know what's the term entrepreneur and what is the term risk. Entrepreneur is a person who risks time and money to start and manage a business, while risk is the chance an entrepreneur takes of losing time and money on a business that may not prove profitable. The chance of the loss and the degree of probability of loss and the amount of possible loss, these are all types of risks, and we know some of entrepreneurs nowadays, like Steve Jobs. Uh, the term standard of living refers to the amount of debt people can incur on a given income. Is this the term standard of living? This is false because, as we know, standard of living is the amount of goods and services people can buy with the money they have. For example, in the US, which has one of the highest standards of living in the world, even though workers in some other countries such as Germany and Japan may on average make more money per hour, prices for goods and services in Germany and Japan are higher than in the US. So a person in those countries can buy less than what a person in the US can buy with the same amount of money. This is because of the standard of living. Also, you have to know what's the name quality of life. Quality of life is the general well-being of a society in terms of its political freedom, natural environment, education, healthcare, safety, amount of leisure, and rewards that add to the satisfaction and the joy that other goods and services provide. It's more broader and it is more general, the term quality of life. Stakeholders are all the people who stand to gain or lose by the policies and activities of a business. Is these stakeholders can gain or lose by the policies and activities of a business? Yes, this is true because, as we said before, stakeholders are all the people who stand to gain or lose by the policies and activities of a business and whose concern the business need to address. We said there are types of stakeholders who are involved in the business, like bankers, media, suppliers, government leaders, employees, dealers, environmentalists, surrounding community, customer, and stockholders. Next question. Non-profit organizations use financial gains to meet stated social or educational goals of the organization rather than personal profit. This is true because non-profit organizations are those are an organization whose goal do not include making a personal profit for its owner or organization, unlike the business or profit organizations who seeks to have a profit or a gain or personal profit, financial gains from the business. Like charities, يعني we can see a non-profit organization like charities and that help orphans and people with disabilities. This is an example of non-profit organizations. Most business experts agree that entrepreneurship and the effective use of knowledge are the most important contributors to the creation of wealth. We know that this is true, of course, because we know there are factors of production which are the resources used to create wealth. And they are 5 factors: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and knowledge. Land or natural resources. Land and other natural resources are used to make homes, cars, and other products. Second, labor or workers. People have always been an important resources in producing goods and services, but many people are now being replaced by technology. Capital, and this includes machines, tools, buildings, or whatever else is used in the production of goods. It might not include money. Money is used to buy factors of production but is not always considered a factor by itself. This is the capital. And entrepreneurship, all the resources in the world have little value unless entrepreneurs are willing to take the risks of starting businesses to use those resources. And knowledge, the final factor of production, like information technology, which has revolutionized business, making it possible to quickly determine wants and need and to respond with desired goods and services. And what makes rich countries rich today is a combination of entrepreneurship and the effective use of knowledge. Entrepreneurs use what they have learned, knowledge, to grow their business and increase wealth. So, the most important contributors to the creation of wealth are entrepreneurship and knowledge. Though it has received a lot of attention, the development of information technology (IT) has had less of an impact on the way businesses operate than many other changes. Does it have less of impact? Of course, it's false, because technology is everything from phones and copiers to computers, medical imaging devices, personal digital assistants, and the various software programs that makes processes more effective, efficient, and productive. And IT has completely changed the way people communicate with one another. We can see that advertisers and other business people have created ways of using these tools to reach their suppliers and customers. Most business experts agree that entrepreneurship and effective use of knowledge are the most important contributors to the creation of wealth. We said it before, it's true, because these two factors are the most important in the creation of wealth. Technology allows firms to be more responsive to their customers' wants and needs. Of course, it's true, because nowadays you can see the social media, and you can ask your questions, or on websites you can see frequently asked questions, so you have the answer before you, immediately. You can ask online, for example, about a product or a service, and get your response immediately. We can see that there is also e-commerce between business to customers and business to business, B2C and B2B, through the internet nowadays. You can complete a transaction B2B online nowadays, and this is very updated. The statistical study of the human population to describe its size, age, gender, and income is known as diversity recognition. This is false, because it's demography. Demography is the statistical study of human population with regards to its size, density, and other characteristics such as age, race, gender, and income. Successful firms follow a customer-driven strategy as opposed to the management-driven strategy used in the past. This is true because today's customers want not only goods quality at low price but great service as well. And every manufacturing and service organization in the world should have a sign over its door telling its workers that the customer is king. And business has become more customer driven, not management driven, as often occurred in the past. Successful organizations must now listen more closely to customers to determine their wants and needs and then adjust the firm's product policies and practices accordingly. Now, another type of question, which is multiple choice question. You will see a question and choices and try to choose between them the best answer. Space is the chance a business owner will lose the time and money invested in a business that proves to be unprofitable. And these are the choices. Yes, it's number B, risk. As we said, risk is a chance a business owner will lose the time and money invested in a business that proves to be unprofitable, and the entrepreneur are the most risky in the business. Or entrepreneurship is the most risky in the business. Space is a measure of the general well-being and satisfaction derived from a variety of factors including political freedom, safety, education, and a clean environment. This is a broad concept, and we said this term before. Yes, this is quality of life, and we differentiated between the quality of life and standard of living. The customers, employees, stockholders, suppliers, creditors, and others who stand to gain or lose by the policies and activities of a business represent the firm what? Yes, correct, the stakeholders. The most important difference between for-profit businesses and non-profit organizations is that it's number C. Non-profit organizations do not seek a profit for their owners or organizers. We say that like charities and charities that help orphans and disabled people. This is non-profit organizations are unlike profit organizations. The standard of living for a nation's people depend mainly on what? Yes, correct. It's number C, their income and the prices of the goods and services they buy. You can determine the standard of living of a nation's people depends on their income and prices of goods and services they buy. World-class businesses attempt to meet the needs of. World-class means the premium or the excellent businesses attempt to meet the needs of what? Yes, correct. It's all its stakeholders, all the people involved in the game. The resources that contribute to the creation of wealth are known as what's the term? Yes, correct. Factors of productions, and they are five as we said: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and knowledge. And we said before that entrepreneurship and knowledge are the most contribution to the wealth of nation. As a factor of production, the term capital includes what? We can see what are the capital in these choices. Yes, correct. Tools, machinery, and buildings. These are capitals. From the capital, and capital is a factor of production. When we compare the factors of production in wealthy versus poor nations, we find what? Is correct. See, wealthy nations have knowledge and entrepreneurial opportunities, while poor nations are often lacking in these areas. And what makes rich people rich today is a combination of entrepreneurship and the effective use of knowledge. And the business environment either encourages or discourages entrepreneurship. Which of the following is an advantage of utilizing technology? Yes, productivity increases. Technology is everything from phones and copiers to computers, medical imaging devices, personal digital assistants, and the various software programs that makes business processes more effective, efficient, and productive. And productivity, as we know, is the amount of output you generate given the amount of input. For example, the hours worked by the labor or the worker. Businesses collect what information on where people live, what they buy, and how they spend their time. What are these called? These elements called? Yes, correct. The demographic information. And that's the end of questions on chapter 1. Now moving to chapter 9, which is in the title of Production and Operations Management. You have to know the evolution from production to operations management. What's production management? Production management consists of all the activities managers do to help their firm create goods to reflect the change in importance from manufacturing to services. The term production is often replaced by the term operations. So you have to know that production means operations. Now another term which is operation management is the specialized area in the management that converts or transforms resources, including human resources, into goods and services. This is the term operation management. What kind of firms use operation managers? Firms on both the manufacturing and service sector use the operations managers. Also, you have to identify various processes and describe techniques that improve productivity, including computer-aided design and manufacturing, flexible manufacturing, lean manufacturing, customization, robotics, and 3D printing. What is the process manufacturing and how does it differ from assembly process? Process manufacturing physically or chemically changes materials. Assembly processes put together the components. This is the difference. How do CAD, computer-aided design, and CAM, computer-aided manufacturing system work? Design change made in computer-aided design are instantly incorporated into the computer-aided manufacturing process. The linking of CAD and CAM is computer integrated manufacturing, which is CIM or KIM. What is flexible manufacturing? Flexible manufacturing means designing machines to produce a variety of products. What is lean manufacturing? Lean manufacturing is the production of goods using less of everything than in mass production. Less human efforts, less manufacturing space, less investment in tools, and less engineering times to develop new products. What is mass customization? Mass customization means making custom designed goods and services for a large number of individual customers. Flexible manufacturing makes mass customization possible. Given the exact need of customers, flexible machines can produce a customized goods as fast as mass produced goods were once made. Mass customization is also important in service industries. Also, one of the points, operation management planning issues including facility location, facility layout, material requirements planning, purchasing, just-in-time inventory control, and quality control. What is facility location? Is the process of selecting a geographical location for a company's operation, while facility layout is the physical arrangement of resources, including people, to produce goods and services effectively and efficiently. Also, you have to know what's just-in-time JIT inventory control. JIT requires suppliers to deliver parts and materials just in time to go on the assembly line, so they do not have to be stored in warehouses. You have to know what Six Sigma quality and it sets standards at just 3.4 defects per million opportunities and detect potential problems before they occur. You have also to know about ISO 9001 and ISO 14001. Let's move to the questions. The first type, which is true and false. The use of computer in in the design of products is called computer aided design. Yes, it's correct. We said that computer-aided design, CAD, is the use of computer in the design of product. And you have to differentiate between the three terms CAD, CAM, and KIM. Computer-aided manufacturing is CAM, the use of computer in the manufacturing of products. And computer-integrated manufacturing, KIM, is the uniting of computer-aided design with computer-aided manufacturing. So KIM is equals CAD plus CAM. That part of the production process that puts together components is called continuous process. No, it's false. It's not called continuous process. It's called assembly process. And you have to differentiate between three terms: assembly process, continuous process, and intermittent process. Assembly process is that part of the production process that puts together components, while continuous process, a production process in which long production runs turn out finished goods over time. Intermittent process, a production process in which the production run is short and the machines are changed frequently to make different products. These are the difference between the three terms: assembly process, continuous process, and intermittent process. By turning raw materials into finished goods, production creates form utility. This is the term form utility. Yes, this is the form utility. It is the value. Form utility is the value producer add to materials in the creation of finished goods and services. Just-in-time jet production systems normally require large amount of safety stock to be maintained in a firm's warehouse. Is this true? No, of course, this is false because from its name, just in time, a production process in which a minimum of inventory is kept on the premises and part supplies and other needs are delivered just in time to go on the assembly line. And JIT system makes sure the right materials are at the right place at the right time at the cheapest cost to meet both customer and production needs. And that's a key step in modern production innovation, just-in-time production. ISO 14001 may result in a recycling program at a company. You have to differentiate between ISO 9001 and ISO 14001. ISO 9001 is the common name given to quality management and assurance standards, while ISO 14001 is a collection of the best practices for managing an organization's impact on the environment. So the best one, yes, it may result in a recycling program because it is managing organization impact on the environment. So it's more concerned with the environment, eco-friendly organizations. So this is ISO 14001. Yes. Facility layout is the physical arrangement of resources, including people, in the production process. Yes, this is true. To achieve Six Sigma quality, a process must produce no more than 6 defects per million opportunities. If you know that Sigma quality, this is false, because it is a quality measure that allows only 3.4 defects per million opportunities, not 6 defects. It's not because of the 6 sigma, it's 6, no, it's 3.4 defects. And it's very important for companies that makes millions of transactions a day, like banks. Banks need 6 sigma quality control. Six Sigma chart is a bar graph showing production managers what projects are being worked on, what stage they are in at any given time. This is not included in your exam. ISO 9001 is a certification program attesting that a factory, laboratory, or office has met the rigorous requirements set by the International Organization for Standardization. Yes, it's true, because it's the common name given to quality management and assurance standards, and it's a certification program which many companies nowadays require to operate with ISO 9001 to ensure that they have quality assurance standards so they can make more businesses. Production is the function in a firm that searches for quality material resources, find the best supplier, and negotiates the best prices for goods and services. Is this the term production? No, it's false. It's the purchasing function. And I want to add that the internet has also transformed the purchasing function, the IT nowadays. Businesses that once needed connection to a certain industry can now go online to find the best items at the best price. And similarly, a company wishing to sell supplies can use the internet to find all the companies looking for such supplies. And of course, the costs of purchasing items has been reduced tremendously. Lean manufacturing is the production of goods using less of everything compared to mass production. Yes, this is true because we know that lean manufacturing is the production of goods using less of everything compared to mass production. Also, you have to know the term mass customization, which is tailoring products to meet the needs of a large number of individual customers. And we can say that a company becomes lean by continuously increasing its capacity to produce high quality goods while decreasing its needs for resources. We can say that this company is lean manufactured. Now moving to another type or form of questions, which is the multiple choice questions, which term refers to all the activities involved in making products, goods and services for customers. Yes, correct. It's A, operations or production. The creation of finished goods and services using the factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and knowledge. This is the operations. Which term refers to the acquisition of the raw materials a company needs to produce its product? Yes, it's the purchasing. Purchasing is the function in a firm that searches for quality material resources, finds the best supplier, and negotiates the best price for goods and services. Which type of system is designed for smooth production flow to avoid inefficiencies, eliminate unnecessary inventories, and continuously improve production processes? Yes, it's the lean manufacturing or the lean system. The production of goods using less of everything compared to mass production. This is the lean manufacturing. And we said that a company becomes lean by continuously increasing its capacity to produce high quality goods while decreasing its needs for resources. Which term is defined as the combination of characteristics of a product or service that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs? Yes, it's quality. Quality is consistently producing what the customer wants while reducing errors before and after delivery to the customer. Uh, uh, in the past, firms often conducted quality control at the end of the production line. Products were completed first and then tested for quality. This resulted in several problems. And such problems led to the realization that quality is not an outcome. It is a never-ending process of continually improving what a company produces. Quality control should thus be part of the production management planning processes rather than simply an end of the line inspection. So quality control should be along the operation management planning process. What is the name of for a production system in which all the needed materials and parts arrive at the precise moment they are required for each production stage? Yes, it's just in time inventory control or production. It's a production process in which a minimum of inventory is kept on the premises and parts, supplies, and other needs are delivered just in time to go on the assembly line. And JIT system makes sure that the right materials at the right place at the right time at the cheapest cost uh, will be met both customer and production needs. And that's a key step in a modern production innovation. Space is the use of computers in the design of products. Design. Yes, it's computer aided design CAD. The National Bicycle Industrial Company in Japan makes 18 bicycle model in more than 2 million combinations, each designed to fit the need of a specific customer. This is called, they are fitting the bicycle to the customer. This is called what? Yes, this is mass customization where tailored products are needed to meet the needs of a large number of individual customers. So the customer chooses the model, size, color, and design. The retailer takes various measurements from the buyer and sends the data to the factory where robots handle the bulk of the assembly. And more companies are learning to customize their products nowadays to meet different tastes and needs. Which of the following is a characteristic of just-in-time JIT inventory management system? JIT relies heavily on good quality materials. They are using a minimum of inventory, but it's high quality materials. Of course, not they will not use poor quality products or materials. No, they will use high quality materials, but with a minimum inventory. Six Sigma is a quality measure that allows only space defects per million opportunities. What's the number? Yes, correct. It's 3.4. And the Six Sigma quality control, the benchmark for it is 3.4 defects per million opportunities. And it's important to a company that makes millions of transactions a day, like banks. And that's the end of questions on chapter 9. Now moving to chapter 11, which is in the title of Human Resource Management, Finding and Keeping the Best Employees. You have to know the importance of human resource management and current issues in managing human resources. There are many current challenges and opportunities arise from changing demographics, more women, minorities, immigrants, and older workers in the workforce. Others include a shortage of trained workers and an abundance of unskilled workers, skilled workers in declining industries requiring retraining, changing employee work attitude, and complex law and regulations. And these are many challenges and opportunities that are facing companies and human resources nowadays, the HR department. The steps in human resource planning. What are the steps? There are 5 steps in human resource planning: preparing a human resource inventory of the organization's employees. Number 2, preparing a job analysis, which contains the job description and job specification. Number 3, assessing future demand. Number 4, assessing future supply. And the final step is establishing a plan for recruiting, hiring, educating, appraising, compensating, and scheduling employees. You have to know the methods the company used to recruit new employees and some of the issues that make recruiting or recruitment challenging. What methods do human resource managers use to recruit new employees? Recruiting sources are classified as either internal or external. Internal sources include those hired from within, transfers, promotions, reassignment, and employees who recommend others to hire. This is the internal source, while the external recruitment sources include advertisements, public and private employee agencies, college placement bureaus, and management consultants, online site, professional organizations, referrals, online and walk-in applications. Why has recruitment become more difficult? Legal restrictions complicate hiring and firing practices. Finding suitable employees can be more difficult if companies are considered unattractive workplaces. What you have to know about the 6 steps in selecting employees. The steps starts with or the steps start with obtaining complete application forms. This is for the selection. Obtaining a complete application forms. Number 2, conducting initial and follow-up interviews. Number 3, giving employment tests. Number 4, conducting background investigation. Number 5, obtaining results from physical exams. And finally, establishing a trial period of employment. You have to know also what are the term contingent workers. Contingent workers include part-time workers or anyone who works less than 34 hours per week. Temporary workers, like workers paid by temporary employment agencies. Seasonal workers, independent contractors, interns, and freelancers. Why has there been such an increase in hiring contingent workers? Workers want diversity and flexibility in their roles and ability to showcase their skills, and employers have shifted from "I need to hire a person" to "I need to complete a task." This is why contingent workers or hiring contingent workers are increasing nowadays. You have to know also what are the employees training and developing methods. Uh, what are the training activities? Training activities include employee orientation, on and off job training, apprentice programs, online training, and job simulation. What methods helped develop managerial skills? Management development methods include on-the-job coaching, understudy position, job rotation, off-the-job courses, and training. You have to know also the 6 steps in appraising employee performance. The steps start with establishing the performance standard. Number 2, communicate those standards. Number 3, compare performance to standard. Number 4, discuss results. Number 5, take corrective actions when needed. And finally, the sixth step, which is the use of the result for decisions about promotions, compensation, additional training, or firing. Also, you have to know the objectives of employee compensation program and various pay system and fringe benefits. The compensation system may include salary system, hourly wages, commission plans, bonus plans, profit sharing plans, and stock options. What are the fringe benefits? They include sick leave, vacation pay, company car, pension plans, and health plans that provide additional compensation to employees beyond base wages. Let's see the questions of the true and false. Selection is the set of activities used to obtain a sufficient number of the right people at the right time. Is this the term selection? No, it's false. It's the term recruitment. Recruitment is the set of activities used to obtain a sufficient number of the right people at the right time. While selection is the process of gathering information and deciding who should be hired under legal guidelines for the best interest of the individual and the organization. Job analysis is the systematic analysis of job within an organization resulting in a job description. This is true. You know that there are 5 steps in human resource planning. It starts with preparing a human resource inventory of the organization employees. Number 2, preparing a job analysis. That's the question. And job analysis is a study of what is done by employees who hold various job titles. And the result of job analysis are 2 written statements: job description and job specification. A job description specifies the objective of the job, the type of the work, and the responsibility and duties, working conditions, and the job's relationship to other functions. While job specification are a written summary of the minimal education and skills a person needs to do such a particular job. What's the difference between job description and job specification? Job description is about the job, while job specification is about the person who does the job. So you have to differentiate between the 3 terms. Job analysis, this is the general term, and there are 2 statements, written statements that come from the job analysis, which is job description and job specification. And job description is concerned with the job itself, while job specification is concerned with the person who does the job. Performance appraisals are designed to show workers how well they are doing their jobs. Is this true or false? This is true because performance appraisal, as we know, is an evaluation that measures employee performance against established standards in order to make decisions about promotions, compensation, training, or termination. And the performance appraisal consists of 6 steps. Number one, establishing performance standards. Number two, communicating those standards. Number three, evaluating performance. Number four, discussing results with employees. Number five, taking corrective actions. Number six, using the results to make decisions. Companies often use internal recruitment to build morale and keep high quality employees from leaving. Yes, this is true because, as we know, the recruitment consists of internal sources and external sources. And internal sources include current employees who can be transferred or promoted or who can recommend others to hire. Using internal sources is less expensive than recruiting from outside and helps maintain employee morale. However, it isn't always possible to find qualified workers within the company, so HR managers also use the external sources, such as advertisements, public and private employment agencies, college placement bureaus, management consultants, online sites, professional organizations, referrals, and online and walk-in applications. So yes, internal recruitment increases and help in building morale and keeping high quality employees from leaving. Contingent workers are those who have the expectation of regular full-time employment. This is false because a company with employment needs that vary from hour to hour, day to day, week to week, season to season, project to project may find it cost effective to hire contingent workers. يعني this is the contingent workers sometimes are the best and the cost effective because of the seasonality of the project or the difference between the needs from hour to hour, day to day, season to season. So what are the contingent workers? They include part-time workers, anyone who work less than 34 hours per week, and there is also temporary workers, workers paid by temporary employment agencies, seasonal workers, independent contractor, interns, and freelancers. So contingent workers do not expect regular or full-time employment. They can expect part-time employment, for example, but not the full-time employment. Job descriptions document in full the qualifications, skills, and personal qualities a person must possess in order to do the specified job. Is this the job description? it's false, and it's very important question, because as you said, in setting and determining a firm's human resource need, step number 2, we prepare the job analysis, and the job analysis result into the job description and the job specification. And we said that the job description is concerned with what, with the job itself, while the job specification is concerned with what the person itself, right? So the job description here will be changed with job specification. Is a document in full the qualification, skills, and personal qualities a person must possess in order to do the specified job. So here it's concerned with the person and the skills he should have, or she should have. So this is the job specification, not description. The increased demand for knowledge workers will require firms to use extra measures such as higher salaries and signing bonuses to attract qualified employees. Yes, it's correct, and it's by logic. If you have more knowledge and more education and higher position in another company, for example, and you need to move to another company, you have to be paid by the recruitment company higher salaries and giving you bonuses to attract you as a qualified employee. Yes. One of the recruiter's first step after identifying job openings is to review job analysis information. Yes, correct. Because as we know that when determining firms' human need, first uh, uh, prepare a human resource inventory of the organization employees. This inventory should include ages, names, education capabilities, training, specialized skills, and other relevant information such as languages spoken. It reveals whether the labor force is technically up to date and good trained or not. Then after that, they prepare a job analysis. So as a recruiter, you have to identify the job opening first and then see the job analysis information. Yes, that's correct. Performance appraisal is based on standards. Yes, it's correct, because as we know, performance appraisal is an evaluation that measures employee performance against established standards in order to make decisions about promotion, compensation, training, or termination. And it's of 6 steps. Starts with establishing performance standards and ends with uh, using the results to make decisions. Now another type of questions, which is multiple choice question. Which of the following describes the skills, abilities, and qualifications required for a job? For a job. And the skills needed by the person for the job. Yes, correct. It's number C, job specification. As we said, job specification is concerned with the person and the personal skills, abilities, qualifications, while the job description is concerned with the job opening itself, the requirements of the job. So here, yes, it's correct to say that's the job specification. And this is the step of job analysis, by the way, which is the second step in human planning. Which of the following outlines the duties of a job, its working conditions, and the tools, materials, and equipment used to perform it? The duties of a job. Yes. Yes, it's correct. It's the job description as it is concerned with the job itself, the working conditions, the duties of a job, and the tools, materials, and equipments. This is for the job, not for the personal skills like the job specification. So this is the job description exactly. Which of the following is considered the starting point of effective human resource management? Yes, correct. It's planning. All management, including human resource management, begins with planning. And the 5 steps in human resource planning, as you know, uh, starts with preparing a human resource inventory of the organization's employee. Number 2, preparing a job analysis. Number 3, assessing future human resource demand. Number 4, assessing the future labor supply. And finally, establishing a strategic plan. What is the name given to an employee who is hired on something other than a permanent or full-time basis? Yes, correct. It's contingent workers, workers who do not have the expectation of regular full-time employment. They are temporary and not permanent, and they are part-time, not full-time basis or salary based. Which of the following types of training occurs while the employee is at his or her place of work? Yes, correct. It's on the job training. In the training and development, which is all the attempts to improve productivity by increasing an employee ability to perform, training focuses on short-term skills, whereas development focuses on long-term abilities. So you have to know that training is for short-term skills, while development is for long-term abilities. And for training and development, we have the orientation, the activity that introduces new employees to the organization, to fellow employees, to their immediate supervisors, and to the policies, practices, and objectives of the firms. This is just for introducing new employees to be acquainted with the surrounding in the job, not not a training. It's an orientation. Uh, on the job training, this is another time. Training at the workplace that lets the employee learn by doing or by watching others for a while and then imitating them. Also, we have the apprentice program, a training program involving a period during which a learner works alongside an experienced employee to master the skills and the procedures of a craft. Also we have the off the job training that occurs away from the workplace and consists of internal or external programs to develop any of a variety of skills or to foster personal development. Also, we have the online training programs in which employees complete classes via the internet. And there is also another type, which is vestibular training and job simulation. So in this case, we have training occurs while the employee is at his or her place of work. This is on the job training, the most suitable one. Ahmad is meeting with each of his subordinates to discuss their performance over the past year. What process is he involved in? Yes, correct. It's the performance appraisal. As you know, that performance appraisal is the evaluation that measures employee performance against the established standards in order to make decisions about promotions, compensation, training, or termination. Sally is observing and interviewing several database administrators to determine the duties and responsibilities associated with their jobs, as well as the knowledge, skills, and abilities that someone must have to perform the job. Which HR function is Sally performing? Yes, correct. It's the job analysis. She is performing a summary of the objectives of a job, the type of work to be done, the responsibilities and duties, the working conditions, and the relationship of the job to other functions. She is performing job analysis, and it's the second step in the HR planning process. Which term refers to employees hired to supplement a firm's permanent workforce? Yes, contingent workers, workers who do not have the expectation of regular or full-time employment and they are supplements to a firm's permanent workforce. This is called contingent worker. Internal recruitment has the potentiality to increase the space of the employees. طبعا of course it's the morale of the employees. Some companies prefer to use internal recruitment and some other prefer the external recruitment, but the internal recruitment generally increase the morale of the employees. The following is or are the benefits of training. Yes, all of the above. It increased productivity, reduced accidents, reduced supervisions, and both training and development include three steps: assessing organizational needs and employee skills to determine training needs. Number two, designing training activities to meet identified needs. Number three, evaluating the training's effectiveness. Yes. Next question: what tasks does HR or human resource management involve? Yes, it's correct. All of the above. They attract employees to organizations. They recruit employees. They try to retain employees. Next question: employee orientation program. The orientation program would be an example of what? Yes, correct. It's for the orientation. Its orientation is the training program. Orientation is the activity that introduces new employees to the organization, to fellow employees, to their immediate supervisor, and to the policies, practices, and objectives of the firm. Uh, and the orientation programs ranges from informal talks to formal activities that last a day or more and often include scheduled visits to various departments and required reading of a company handbook. Orientation is a type of training program, yes. That's the end of questions on chapter 11. Now moving to chapter 13, which is in the title of Marketing, Helping Buyers Buy. You have to define marketing and apply the marketing concepts to both for-profit and non-profit organizations. Marketing is the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. You have to know also how has marketing changed over time. During the production era, marketing was largely a distribution function. Emphasis was on producing as many goods as possible and getting them to markets. By the early 1920s, during the selling era, the emphasis turned to selling and advertising to persuade customers to buy the existing goods produced by mass production. After World War II, the tremendous demand for goods and services led to the marketing concept era, when businesses recognized the need to be responsive to customers' needs. During the 1990s, marketing entered the customer relationship era, focusing on enhancing customer satisfaction and stimulating long-term customer loyalty. Today, marketers are using mobile on-demand marketing to engage customers. So we have the production era, then selling era, marketing concept era, customer relationship era, and nowadays we have the mobile on-demand marketing era. Also, you have to know what are the three parts of the marketing concept. They are number one, a customer orientation, number two, a service orientation, number three, a profit orientation. And profit orientation is marketing goods and services that will earn a profit and enable the firm to survive and expand. What kinds of organizations are involved in marketing? All kinds of organizations use marketing, including for-profit and non-profit organizations like states, charities, uh, mosques, churches, politicians, and schools. You have also to know what are the 4 P's. The idea behind the 4 P's is to design a product people want, price it competitively, place it where customer or consumer can find it easily, and promote it so consumer know it exists. So the 4 P's are place or product, price, place, and promotion. Product, price, place, and promotion. This is the 4 P's. How marketers apply the tools of market segmentation. You have to know what are some of the ways marketers segment the consumer market. Geographical segmentation means dividing the market into different regions, or segmentation by age, income, and education level. This is the demographic segmentation. If we study a group value, attitudes, and interests, this is psychographic segmentation. Uh, if we determine the benefits the customer prefer and using them to promote a product, this is the benefit segmentation. Separating the market by usage is called volume segmentation. The best segmentation strategy is to use all the variables to come up with a consumer profile for a target market that is sizable, reachable, and profitable. Now let's see the questions. Geographic variables describe population by identifying traits such as age, income, gender, ethnic background, marital status, race, religion, and social class. false because you have to differentiate between geographic segmentation and demographic segmentation. Geographic segmentation dividing the markets by cities, countries, status, or regions, while demographic segmentation is dividing the market by age, income, education level, religion, race, and occupation. You have to know also that demographic variable segmentation are the most widely used segmentation variable, but not necessarily the best. So instead of in this question, instead of geographical variables, we will replace it by demographic variables. Yes, exactly. Marketing consists primarily of advertising a product or service. This is false because marketing is a process of creating, communicating, and delivering value to customers and for managing customer relationships in a way that benefits the organization and the stakeholders. Not only advertising of a product or service only. It's a broader and wider concept. Marketing concepts can be extended to the promotion of ideas. That's true. There is a marketing for ideas. Examples include ads in theater that reminds us to respect copyrighted materials, and ads that stress the advantage of avoiding fast food. Uh, this is an example of marketing for ideas. Yes. A description such as single, aged 20 to 34, earning 30,000 LE a year is an example of psychographic variable. This is false because it's a demographic variables. And demographic variables is identifying population by age, income, gender, ethnic background, marital status, race, religion, and social classes. This is a demographic, not a psychographic variable. Target marketing requires dividing a market into categories of customer type or segments. That's true because target marketing is a marketing directed toward those groups or market segments an organization decides it can serve profitably. And by the way, some firms market products to more than one segment. It's not a problem. Psychographics cannot be changed by marketing efforts. This is false because it can be changed because they are unlike demographic and geographic. Psychographic can be changed. Some companies have overcome consumer resistance by promoting the safety and desirability of using credit card, for example, rather than depending or solely on cash. Depending only on cash, they promote for using credit card also because it's more safety and desirable. What is the term for the process of creating, communicating, and delivering value to customer and for managing customer relationships in ways that benefit the organization and its stakeholders? This is marketing. As you know, marketing is the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offering that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large, and the stakeholders, of course. Marketing involves processes that go beyond making ads and promoting sales through social network. What is the term for intangible products such as time, expertise, or an activity that can be purchased? Yes, this is the service. An example of service include providing professional advice or information used in making decisions such as consultancy services, for example, or medical services. What is the term that encompasses a service, or an idea designed to fill a consumer need? Yes, it's the term product. It includes the goods, service, and idea, and the conceptualization and development of new product is a constant challenge for marketers. You know the product differentiation and product marketers now focus on product differentiation from competitors. So a product includes goods, services, and ideas. For marketers, what type of variables are lifestyles, opinions, interests, and attitudes? Yes, it's number C, psychographic variables. Psychographic segmentation is dividing the market using the group values, attitudes, and interests. Yes. If you want to target millennials, for example, you would go do an in-depth study of their values and interests, like which shows they watch, and which celebrities they like best. With that information, you would develop advertisements for those shows using those stars. And psychographic variables are important to marketers because they can be changed by the marketing efforts, unlike demographic or geographical segmentation. Psychographics can be easily changed. Which of the following terms describes the kind of products marketed by insurance companies, airlines, investment, health clinics, and public accounts? Is correct. It's services. They are services. Services are products having non-physical features, intangible, such as information, expertise, or activities that can be purchased. What kind of factors in the business environment are smartphone considered an example of? Yes, correct. It's a technological factor. A new technology, in this case mobile computing technologies, make it possible to create new goods and services. So it's a technological factor. What part of marketing mix includes communicating information about products? Yes, correct. It's promotion. Promotion is the most high visible element of marketing. Mix promotion involves all of the various techniques for communicating information about products and services, which is usually the first step in the marketing strategy. The most probable answer will be target market selection, but it is done after finding opportunities, conducting a research. Marketers identify a target market. After identifying the target market, they design a product to meet the need based on research. Then they do the product testing, determining a brand name, design, package, and a set of price. Select a distribution system, then design a promotional program, and finally build a relationship with customers. The space concept of marketing is one of the oldest marketing concepts. Yes, correct. The production. As you know, there are eras: production, selling, marketing, customer relationship, and the production era. The production era, from the time the first European settlers began their struggle to survive in America until the early 19th. The general philosophy of business was produce as much as you can because there is a limitless market for it. Given the limited production capabilities and vast demand for products in those days, that production philosophy was both logical and profitable. Business owners were mostly farmers, carpenters, and trade workers. They needed to produce more and more, so their goal centered on production. But nowadays, as you know, that customer relationship era is the most dominant. Space is a process by which value is delivered to the customers. It's correct. It's marketing because, as you know, marketing is the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have the value for customer, clients, partners, and society at a large. Marketing is when you deliver the value to customers. What does CRM stand for? Yes, it's correct. Customer relationship management, and as you know, it's an era that happened in the 1990s and early 20s. Some managers extended the marketing concept by adopting the practice of customer relationship management. CRM is the process of learning as much as possible about present customers and doing everything you can over time to satisfy them, or even to exceed their expectations with goods and services. The idea to enhance customer satisfaction and stimulate long long-term customer loyalty. For example, most airlines offer frequent flyer programs that reward loyal customers with free flights. The newest in customer relationship building involves social networks, online communities, and blogs. Okay. Demographic segmentation refers to yes, correct, the description of the people and the place in society. When we make demographic segmentation, we divide the market by age, income, education level, religion, race, and occupation. In space segmentation, buyers are divided into different groups on the basis of lifestyle or personality and values. These are the choices. That's correct. It's psychographic segmentation. When we divide the market using groups, values, attitudes, and interests, we divide it by psychographic. And psychographic segmentation can be changed by marketeers, while demographic and geographic cannot. So they prefer the psychographic segmentation. Space is the next stage of market segmentation. After market segmentation, we do what? Yes, correct. It's market targeting. Target marketing directed toward those groups or market segments an organization decides it can serve it or serve them profitably. This is the market segment or market targeting. The target market. Yes. First market segmentation, then comes the market targeting. When a firm practices what concept, all its activities are directed to satisfy the consumer. Yes, correct. It's marketing concept. And as you know, marketing concept has three parts in the business philosophy: customer orientation, service orientation, profit orientation. Customer orientation find out what consumer want and provide it for them. A service orientation makes sure everyone in the organization has the same objective, customer satisfaction. This should be a total and integrated organizational effort. A profit orientation focus on those goods and services that will earn the most profits and enable the organization to survive and expand to serve more consumer wants and needs. Space marketing means serving a small market not served by competitions. Yes, correct. It's niche marketing. Niche marketing is the process of finding small but profitable market segments and designing or finding products for them. For example, if a restaurant provided dishes for vegetarians only, and they are small percentage but profitable, this is an example of niche marketing. Which of the following is the best explanation of a niche marketing? Yes, correct. A small consumer population segment of a larger consumer population. As you said in the previous question, the same example can apply here. Niche marketing. Vegetarians in the restaurants who can afford or buy a dish, a vegetarian dish, but they are a small percentage with higher prices. And that's the end of questions on chapter 13. Now moving to chapter 18, which is the final one, financial management. Uh, the role and responsibilities of financial managers. What are the most common ways firms fail financially? The most common financial problems are undercapitalization, poor control over cash flow, and inadequate expense control. What do financial managers do? Financial managers plan, budget, control funds, obtain funds, collect funds, and conduct audits, manage taxes, and advise top management on financial matters. You have to know also the financial planning process and the three key budgets in the financial plan. What are the three budgets in the financial plan? The capital budget is the spending plan for expensive assets such as property, plant, and equipment. The cash budget, the second type, is the projected cash balance at the end of a given period. The last is the operating or master budget, summarizes the information in the other two budget. It projects a dollar or allocation to various costs and expenses given various revenues. Now, multiple choices. Duties of a financial manager include what? Yes, correct. It's all of the above. Financial managers are managers who examine financial data prepared by accountants and recommend strategies for improving the financial performance of the firm. So their duties include budgeting, obtaining funds, and cash management. Steps of the financial planning process include what? It's correct. It's all of the above. Financial planning means analyzing short-term and long-term money flows to and from the firm. Its overall objective is to optimize the firm's profitability and make the best use of its money. It has three steps. Financial planning has three steps. Number one, forecasting the firm's short-term and long-term financial needs. Number two, developing budgets to meet those needs. And finally, establishing financial controls to see whether the company is achieving its goal. So it's correct. The financial planning develop budget, forecast short and long-term needs, and establish financial controls. Next question. Space acquires funds for the firms and manages those funds within the firm. What's the department which is concerned with this, acquiring a fund of the firm and manage the fund? Yes, correct. It's finance. Finance is the function in a business that acquires funds for the firms and manages those funds within the firm. And finance activities include preparing budgets, doing cash flow analysis, and planning for the expenditure of funds on such assets such as plants, equipment, and machinery. A space highlights a firm's spending plans for a major assets purchases that often acquire large sum of money. What is the name of the budget? To effectively prepare budget, financial managers must take their forecasting responsibilities seriously. A budget becomes the primary guide for the firm's financial operations and expected financial needs. There are usually several types of budgets in a firm's financial plan. Three of the most common are a capital budget, cash budget, and operation budget. Here it will be capital budget. Why? Because capital budget is a budget that highlights a firm's spending plan for major assets purchases that often require large sum of money. While if we said it About the cash budget, no, it will not be correct because it's a budget that estimates cash inflows and outflows during a particular period, like a month or a quarter. Also, operating budget will not be correct because this is the budget that ties together the firm's other budgets and summarizes its proposed financial activities. So the correct answer will be capital budget. The main purpose of the financial function is to what? That's correct. It's provide appropriate financial information for managers and shareholders. A budget is all of the following except. Yes, correct. A plan which will ensure the generation of future profits. It cannot ensure the generation of future profit. But a budget is a system which helps to coordinate internal activities. That is right. A budget is a system to integrate the operation for future activities. Also right. A budget is a financial plan for the future. Yes, it's right. But number D, it cannot ensure the generation of future profits. For a budget to be useful and relevant for performance measurement, it should satisfy all of the following except. That's correct. It will have been imposed from the highest level of management. All of the others are correct except it will have been imposed from the highest level of management, because all people who can contribute or help in the development of performance management should be involved in the process, not only from the highest level management only. But if we say it is correct to say it will be flexible for a range of possible activity volumes, it will have been imposed from this is right. Number C, it should have involved subordinate staff in the preparation. So, yes, it's correct. Number D, will have been agreed by those being evaluated. Yes, it's correct. But it shouldn't be imposed only from the highest level management. This is number B. So the correct answer will be number B. A budget is all of the following except we said it before. number D. But also we have to know what's a budget. A budget is a financial plan that sets forth management expectations and on the basis of those expectations allocate the use of specific resources throughout the firm. And we have three types that's mentioned in the book: a capital budget, a cash budget, operation or operating, or sometimes call it master budget. Uh, Space periodically compares its actual revenue, costs, and expenses with its budget. What is the name of this? Yes, correct. It's financial control. Financial control is a process in which a firm periodically compares its actual revenue, costs, and expenses with its budget. Most companies hold at least monthly financial reviews as a way to ensure financial control. Such control procedures help managers identify variances to the financial plan and allow them to take corrective action if necessary. Financial control also help reveal which specific accounts, departments, and people are varying from the financial plan. And that's the end of chapter 18. Now moving to the section of the previous exam questions from 2017 till 2019. You have to practice on some questions to see if you can answer the exams or not. Inshallah you can answer, but you have to see some of the questions or the previous questions. While training for a new job, Ahmad was given computerized multiple choice test which provided him an immediate feedback regarding his answer. Ahmad experienced what? A or an what? This is a program. He was given a program. It will be apprentice training program. It's a training program involving a period during which a learner works alongside an experienced employee to master the skills and procedures of a craft. And it is done digitalized in this case, uh, but this is the training program Ahmad was given. Determining whether a company has a correct number of employees begins with what? It will be number A, because all management, including human resource management, begins with planning. And we know the 5 steps of human resource planning. Number 1, preparing a human resource inventory of the organization's employee. This inventory should include ages, name, education, capabilities, training, specialized skills, other relevant information such as languages spoken. It reveals whether the labor force is technically up to date and a good trend or not. So, number A, gathering information about the firm's current employees and on the future demand for workers within the company. This is determining whether a company has a correct number of employees begins with this step. And the next question, the future demand for employees is determined by a process called. Yes, it's correct. It's forecasting for the employees. A job specification for marketing manager should include the following except. We have 3 job specifications except one. The fourth will not be a job specification, will be something else. Maybe a job description. It will be number D. Why? Because number D is a job description. It's concerned with the job, as we said. The marketing manager will be responsible for coordinating budgets and maintain accurate records of expenditure. This is concerned with the job. While about the skills and the person itself, we said job specification is used. So number A, job specification, 3 years marketing communicating experience. Number B, excellent demonstrated verbal and written communication skills. This is job specification also. Ability to work under pressure. This is job specification also. The different one will be the job description, which is number D. Space is the process of finding, screening, and selecting people for a specific job using a variety of methods and resources. What does we call this? This is the selection and hiring. Is the process of finding, screening, and selecting people for a specific job using a variety of methods and resources. When companies, as you can see here, number 8, when companies post job openings on the company intranet or in-house newsletter, they depend on what? Yes, it will be internal recruiting. As we said, there are internal recruiting and external recruiting. In this case, he is using the intranet and in-house newsletter to find a new job. Internal source include uh, uh, he is using internal recruiting in this case because the company wants to promote within itself. I mean, through the intranet, يعني it's from for the company's internet, and in-house newsletter. They didn't go external; it's only internal. Yes. Number 9, selecting a pool of qualified candidates from the original group of applicants is the first step of what? It will be recruitment because it's the set of activities used to obtain a sufficient number of the right people at the right time. And it's, by the way, it's very challenging. And here they are qualified candidates and they didn't go through the hiring and selecting process, so it will be recruiting. An alternative to a performance appraisal is what? What does it? What term gives the same meaning? It will be number A, performance management, because it is an evaluation that measures employee performance against established standards in order to make decisions about promotion, compensation, training, or termination. This is also called performance management. Number 19. A space is a specific group of potential customers in which a firm focuses its marketing efforts. What does we say when the when the company focuses its marketing offers on a potential customer? it will be in number 19, it will be number C, target market. Marketing directed toward those groups or market segment an organization decides it can serve profitably. And in one company there might be many target markets, not only one. Number 20, the creation of a real difference in a product designed to attract customer is what? What does it we call when we make differences in a product to differentiate the product from the competitors? Yes, correct. In number 20, it will be product differentiation. Number 21, communication or communicating the benefits of your goods and services to the customers is done through what? Communicating the benefits of your goods and services to the customers should be done through all the elements of the marketing mix, through the product promotion, place, and price. You want to give the person or the customer a good product with high quality price, with quality price ratio, and he can find it well easily, and he can know and get informed about it well, but through the promotion. So it will be number B, all the elements of the marketing mix. The marketing process starts with which of the following? It starts with determining the market desires or needs. We can find opportunities through determining the market desires and needs. So the marketing process starts with this function. The process of separating the broader market into a smaller market segment is called what? Yes, it will be market segmentation. Market segmentation is the process of dividing the total market into groups whose members have similar characteristics, and we know there are different types of segmentations. Geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, benefit segmentation, volume segmentation. There are many types of segmentation. After segmentation, target marketing is the next step. A market segment should be what? All of the above, yes, correct. They must be identifiable and identifiable. I can identify them. Accessible, I can easily reach them. And substantial, yes, صح. They are all of the above. A company that sells specialized gear shifters for racing bicycles is operating in what? Here is a specialized gear shifters. Specialized. What type of segmentation is this? When we want to move or reaching a smaller segment, and the process of finding small but profitable market segments and designing and finding products for them is called a niche market. This is one of the ways marketers can reach small but profitable customers. So it will be niche marketing. Which of the following refers to an interconnected system of different demographic factors? It will be social environment. Yes. Because as you know, of course it will be social environment, because we have in the social we can find the age, gender, sex and marital status and ethnic groups. Number 37 in the true or false, keeping up with technological advances is an inexpensive way for companies to remain competitive. It is not an inexpensive, it's an expensive way for companies, but its reward will be worth it يعني. But but it's expensive because installing IT and robotics will be expensive for sure. Number 42, to be successful, a company should keep pace with the latest technology. Of course, we know that technology is everything from phones and copiers to computers, medical imaging devices, personal digital assistants, and the various software programs that make businesses processes more effective, efficient, and productive. And IT has completely changed the way people communicate with one another. Advertisers and other business people have created ways of using these tools to reach their suppliers and customers. And even politicians use IT and internet, social media to reach their supporters. IT is such a major force in business today that is very important. Yes, يبقى it will be right, correct. Diversity initiatives in business are essential to a company's ability to be competitive. Yes, number 46 will be correct because diversity has come to mean much more than recruiting and keeping minorities and female employees. Diversity efforts now include older adults, people with disabilities, people who are extrovert and introvert, married people and singles. And managing diversity means dealing sensitively with workers and cultures around the world. Providing social security benefits to senior citizens in the future will draw huge amount of money from the working population. That's why there is so much discussion about social securities in the media today. So diversity initiatives is very important during the social changes affecting businesses. Nora is a store owner who buys items online to sell in her shop. Which of the following factors of production is best illustrated in Nora's use of internet? Of course, you know, factors of productions are five, and from it, knowledge, which nowadays we say it IT, information technology, which has make revolution business to businesses, making it possible to quickly determine wants and needs and to respond with desired goods and services. So here, Nora use of the internet or the knowledge is a technological factor of production, which is knowledge, by the way. Aya orders a salad at a restaurant, what is the best definition of what she is buying? Number E. Aya is buying both a good and a service. A product, as you know, can include both goods and service. A salad dish is a good, a physical and tangible, while the way the waiter delivers the food, and this is one of the aspects of service, just for clarification, this is a service. So a product consists of both goods and services, so it will be number E. An entrepreneurial team is what? It will be number A, a group of individuals with varied experiences and skills that come together to form a new venture. Sydney recently saw a notice in her company's newsletter about a new job opening within her company. Since it would be a promotion for her, she applied later that day. In this example, Sydney company recruited externally. No, of course, you said it's internal recruitment source because it is in the newsletter of her job, or an email in her newsletter. So it will be internal source for recruiting. And by the way, internal recruitment increases morale. Companies, number 2, that provide a service do not need to be concerned with efficient production processes. Of course, it's false because whether it's a good or a service, companies must, or the business must be concerned with efficient production process. Number 3, the marketing concept changed the focus from producing the right product for a customer to finding the right customer for a product. Yes, because it's true. Number 3 will be true because in the marketing concept, there is a customer orientation and a service orientation and a profit orientation. In the customer orientation, they find out what consumer want and provide it for them. Uh, this is an emphasis on meeting consumer needs rather than on promotion or sales. So, yes, in the marketing concept, we are finding the right customers for a product. Number 4, manufacturers use CAM, computer-aided manufacturing, to create three-dimensional design of products before they are built. Is this true or false? Yes, it's true. Number four is true because in the computer-aided design CAD, businesses ranging from construction companies to car makers to video game designers depend on 3D modeling software to create new products. And as we know, aided design is the use of computers in the design of products. Yes, and he is using three-dimensional design, okay, for the design, so it will be true. Financial management involves setting up and monitoring controls to make certain the plans and the budgets are monitored sufficiently so that the business can reach its financial goal. Yes, it will be true because financial management is the job of managing a firm's resources so it can meet its goals and objectives. 13. Fiona is in charge of quality control testing for her company. Her method of quality control is to build the quality in every step of the production process. This is the total quality management approach. Yes, it's true because it is a system of management based on the principle that every member of the staff must be committed to maintaining high standards of work in every aspect of a company operation, and it will not leave it to the end to make quality control check, but it's in every step. This is called TQM. When Iris was trained for her new job, she was asked to respond to questions on a computerized multiple choice test. Iris company used the apprentice training approach. Yes, it's true. On May's first day at work, she was introduced to her co-workers, given a tour of the facilities, given information about company's procedures and expectations, and was given the opportunity to ask questions. In this situation, May experienced what? Orientation program. Yes. He's just given a tour and just get acquainted with her co-workers. So it's orientation program. Number 44. When you have already determined that there is demand for service of your potential business, your next step is what? Your next step will be to conduct a market research. Number 45. Linda owns a bakery and wants to hire Bill, a web page developer, to create a new site for her company. Linda does not need Bill on staff permanently. In this situation, Bill would be considered what? Will be considered a contingent worker or a part-time worker. When you have already determined that there is a demand for service of your potential business, your next step is to conduct a market research, as we said. Number 46. Sam owns a factory that manufactures screen doors. He is currently thinking about changing his production system. His customers' order vary from square to round openings and from plain weaving to twilled weaving. Sam also noticed that the company demand for wire screens increases in the spring and summer. This is seasonality and dwindles during fall and winter. Which type of production system would be best for his factory? It will be mass customization. And you have to know that mass customization is tailoring his product to fit different tastes of customers. Number 47. Steve has a new job as a data warehouse specialist. The company decided to give him training in form of formal classes at the local university and informal classes provided by his employer in order to learn the skills by his new job. Steve has also learned job skills by performing them during work day. What kind of training Steve has been experienced? 48. Which of the following is not one of the most common consumer market segmentation classification? Home ownership, we have behavioral, we can say it psychographic, for example, or psychographic, or demographic, or geographic, but not home ownership segmentation. And behavioral segmentation, we have behavioral segmentation. Space is a set of principles concerned with reducing waste and improving flow. This is the lean production. It's concerned with reducing waste. The final step in the marketing process is what? Yes, maintaining a good customer relationship. CRM. Space is the physical arrangement of resources in the production process. This is the term facility layout. Number B is the physical arrangement of resources including people in the production process. The role of financial manager is to what? Number B, number D, all of the above. Identify sources of funds, identify uses of funds, and determine the allocation of funds. All are right, so the correct answer will be number D. Space is the physical arrangement of resources in the production process. It's facility layout. Yes. The two divisions that make up most finance departments are accounting and financial management. During which era did businesses switch their focus to place special emphasis on pleasing customer after the sale? After the sale, pleasing customer after the sale, it will be customer relationship era, CRM. 22. Retro a company wanted to reduce the amount of supplies it had on hand at any given time to the minimum required. To accomplish this goal, it implemented a what system? Of course, it will be just in time. Human resource planning includes which of the following? All of the above. All these activities human resource planning do or does. Space shifts such as age, gender, ethnicity, and marital status and changing value can signal opportunities for businesses. Demographics. 56. The strategic planning and budgeting of short and long funds for current and future needs is called what management? It's called financial management. Financial management is the job of managing a firm's resources so it can meet its goals and objectives. Ideally, management should compare its budget to what performance every month in order to determine if the company is performing as expected. It will compare the budget with its actual performance. This is performance appraisal, you can think about. In space marketing concept changed the focus from finding the right customer for a product to producing the right product for a customer. It will be the marketing concept era, because as we know, marketing concept consists of customer orientation, service orientation, and profit orientation. In the customer orientation, we find out what consumer want and provide it for them. The emphasis here is on meeting consumer needs rather than on promotion or sales. And that's the end of the final revision. Hope you study well and be prepared for the final exam. With all my best wishes, goodbye.